Hey guys, welcome back to A Simple Sacred Home. My name is Paige and today we're doing a little bit of a different video. We're sitting down. I have my red raspberry leaf tea. This baby is coming anytime now, and so I thought it'd be fun to actually sit down and share some of my 2025 homemaking goals. I know that we're in February now, but I didn't get around to doing this video in January, and it is something that I wanted to talk a little bit about. I think it's really important too to realize that maybe you had a busy beginning of the month or beginning of the year, and so maybe you didn't really think through your goals or your plans as much as you would have liked to, and that's okay. You don't have to go through the rest of the year without having some goals or setting some intentions or resolutions, whatever that looks like for you. You can just pick up at any point and decide, this is what I want to do, and begin your journey. So hopefully this also encourages you that if you haven't set some goals or intentions or whatever you want to call them, that this video will help encourage you or maybe help you think through some things that you want to work on, whether it be in your homemaking or in another area. So I'm saying these are my homemaking goals for 2025, but I truly consider homemaking an umbrella for anything going on within the home, within your habits, your routines. Homemaking goals is just an umbrella for anything that I have set as a goal. Truly this year I have 3 main categories, and that is sewing, budgeting, and health and wellness. Like I said, we are expecting baby anytime, so obviously this is our first baby that will be with us earthside, and so I've never had a newborn. I've never had a child to take care of, and so what I hear from most moms is that don't set these unrealistic expectations, don't have all these plans of things you want to get done specifically in the newborn season, because the reality is that life is going to look very different than you've ever known it to look, and if you put too many expectations on yourself, you're probably going to be very discouraged when you're not able to meet those things. And so I think that's another reason that in January I didn't really create a ton of these goals of things that I have that I want to do this year, because I know that we're getting so close to meeting our baby that that's going to be my primary focus, and just recovering and healing and meeting this new baby and taking care of this new baby. And so I just have started to think a little bit about, okay, well, obviously for the very foreseeable future, it's just going to be healing. It's just going to be recovery. But what are some things that you would like to achieve this year? You can still have some goals. You don't just have to throw everything out. And that's kind of where I'm coming from. Okay, so let's start with homemaking goal number 1, which is the category of sewing. Like I said, I'm not setting super high goals when it comes to sewing, because I have a baby that I'm going to be taking care of. And so to think that I'm going to have all this time to sew and get things done is likely not going to happen. But there are 3 things that I would like to do, and I think that I could achieve them if I make them one of my top priorities outside being a new mom. The first one is finishing our baby's quilt. So this is one of those things that I definitely thought I was going to finish. Honestly, between working full-time, doing YouTube, and just all the craziness that goes into this time, it doesn't look like it's going to get done in time. It's getting very close, but it's not quite done. For example, I need to finish hand stitching, which that process I probably will be able to finish before she gets here, unless she surprises us within the next couple of days. But I have no idea how to bind a quilt. So it's not as simple as just saying, okay, now I have to physically take the time to bind the quilt. It's no, I have to learn how to bind the quilt and then actually try to do it. So I fully am anticipating that to take some time, and I really want to take my time with this. I've said this throughout the entire process, but I don't want to just rush it just to have it done. I know that it's my first quilt. I know that it's not going to be perfect, but I would like to take my time with it and do a nice job. So if that means not finishing it before she gets here, I'm okay with that. But I would like to have it done within her first year of being here. That is my goal. I think that's a very doable goal to have as well. Now, that would be like the number one goal. So if I can get that accomplished, I will feel accomplished. But I do have 2 others that I would like to get to if I have the time, if I can find the time. Like I said, making it a actual priority, not something that, you know, gets pushed to the back burner. And that would be to try to make some kind of mommy and me matching garment. So one of my favorite channels here on YouTube is Our Sweet Sunny Days. Andrea, she's great, and I love her videos because we're very much in similar stages in our life. She's a little bit ahead of me because her baby's already here, but she does a lot of garment sewing, and I've always stayed towards quilting, where she's more interested in the garment making. And it was funny because in one of her recent videos, she was saying that for her, quilting seems way more intimidating than garment making, and I feel the complete opposite. Her and Rooney Sewing Patterns, which I love as well, between the 2 of them, they have really encouraged me to want to try to make some garments. So I've never made a garment. So once again, there's going to be a learning curve. It's not as simple as saying, oh, I want to make this dress and just go sew it. It's going to require me to learn how that process actually even works to begin with, either a dress or a jumper or something like that for baby, and then make a very simple basic top for me so that we have something that is not like the same outfit, obviously, but is matching. I think that would be really cute. And the third thing that I would love to get to do when it comes to sewing this year is to make my baby her own stocking. So last year I was going to make both of our stockings, me and my husband's, but I ended up making one stocking. This year I would really like to make the baby stocking, and I know that if I start early enough, I was able to get that stocking done within a few days, but it did take all my time outside of work to get it done. But I think that if I start it late summer or even midsummer, if I feel inspired to do so, I could easily have it done in time, even if I only can work on it a few minutes at a time. Okay, so now that we've talked about sewing goals, I actually wanted to move into budgeting. So budgeting is something that I've always struggled with. I am a natural spender, so it's really easy for me to just want to spend, but this year I really want to focus on budgeting, only buying what we actually need, not just going and spending on unnecessary items. And so I actually created a budget template that you can print out. So it's your monthly budget. You can break it down by your income coming in, all your expenses, if there's anything you need to save for. You can also track your debt on there. And then I also have a debt snowball tracker as well, and then a reflection page. So these are just items that I thought would be really helpful for myself on the journey, so I can record monthly our budget on one of the templates, and then I can keep track of paying off debt on the debt snowball tracker. The reason I like the debt snowball tracker is because it has this little thermometer, and you can actually watch as you pay it off, which is really nice, and you have that visual. And then I also included a reflection page because I think it would be really helpful for myself to take just a couple minutes at the end of the month and say, what went really well this month? What didn't go well? Where did I overspend, if any? Where did I not budget appropriately? And to keep track of that, also write down what I did do well. And that way I can keep a really organized track of how the budget is going, making sure I'm staying on track. And for me, having that little reflection time is really helpful for that. So I actually did go ahead and make an editable version for you guys if you are interested. I'm going to have it linked down below. You can grab it through Etsy, and if you use code YouTube40, you'll actually get 40% off of that digital download. It instantly is sent to you and you can edit it. So if you need to edit it to customize it for your specific family, you can, or you can just print it off the way that it is and then use it that way. And you can print as many copies as you need of it, so you have one for each month of the year. And I hope that that is super helpful to you. And last is health and wellness. My goal for 2025 in this category would be to cook from scratch every single day. Now, that doesn't mean that every meal is going to be completely from scratch, because I think it'll take me a little bit to get up to that point, but making food at home as often as possible, making food from scratch, even if it's just one meal every single day, is something that I would love to do. Also, just getting outside and going on daily walks. So right now it's really cold. It's really hard to get outside and want to spend any kind of time out there. But once the weather starts to warm up, I want to get outside and just be in nature, get that sunshine, and go on as many walks as possible. So I hope this video was encouraging to you. If you have some goals or intentions set for 2025, I'd love to hear what they are down below. And if you've had these goals already set up since the beginning of January, you're already a month and a half or so in, so I'd love to know in the comments down below how your goals are going so far. How are you keeping track of them? How are you making sure that you're staying on track? Because I think that's the biggest part, right? Like, it's easy to write down our goals, but what are we doing tangibly every single day to reach those goals? And so I'd love to hear from you guys down below in the comments. With these being some of my main goals for 2025, you guys will get to see the journey as I try to reach those goals and bring you along with me. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.